officer. You can actually see our officers giving commands, repeated commands, let me see your hands, let me see your hands, trying to gain compliance. The suspect was not complying with the officer's commands, at which point the officer actually put out an additional call asking for units to step it up because he had a combative suspect. The security guard then, at the request of the officer, assisted the officer and came to the officer's aid, was assisting the officer when that suspect suddenly, without any warning, turned, took out a semi-automatic pistol and fired one shot at our officer. The gunshot hit our officer below the vest in the lower right abdomen. The officer immediately returned fire, striking the suspect, at which point folks, I believe in this building here, started calling, and other folks started calling 911, saying that there had been a shooting, and I believe one of the calls stated that an officer had been shot. The officer need assistance call came out. Other officers arrived on scene. The first officer arrived on scene, had the gun in the suspect's hand still on the ground, and were able to control the firearm, take it away, render it safe. And unfortunately, the suspect was pronounced here by EMS sometime after 11 a.m. Our officer is has had the bullet removed from his abdomen area, from his lower quadrant, right quadrant. He is conscious, he's alert, he is in good spirits, but shaken up. But as you can imagine, he's very fortunate. The other piece here that I think is really fortunate is this young man who did a phenomenal job helping us out. I'm just thankful that he did not get shot by the suspect, because I'm convinced that had he had an opportunity to shoot him, he would have. So our officer, again, is a 9-year, almost 10-year veteran, member of the police department. He works patrol here in the downtown area command, and he is surrounded by family and friends, and again, he's in stable condition here at Brackenridge Hospital. I want to thank EMS for their excellence, and Austin Fire for responding quickly and taking care of our officer and getting him to the hospital. I want to thank Brackenridge Hospital for the tremendous job they did keeping our officer and rendering the medical aid that he needed. Again, consistent with our protocols, what will happen now is that our officer, who will remain hospitalized tonight, will be placed on administrative leave with pay pending the completion of 2 investigations. One by the Austin Police Department Special Investigations Unit, which is a criminal investigation conducted under the auspices and under the supervision of the Travis County District Attorney's Office, and the other one, an administrative investigation conducted by Internal Affairs Division, obviously being monitored by the police monitor and her team. We will update information tomorrow on the suspect, other than he's a white male, appears to be in his 30s. We don't have any other information on him. We don't have him identified yet, and we hope to have him identified hopefully sometime tomorrow, at which time we will provide you more information and release the officer's name as well. As you can imagine, you know, this is Sunday morning in Austin, Texas. See, we had a great event with the NCAA Texas Relays this weekend, and I'm here to tell you, because I know it'll come up, this suspect doesn't appear to have anything to do with Texas Relays, nothing to do with Texas Relays, and he's just a guy that's in the neighborhood burglarizing. And fortunately for the residents of this building, they had a very conscientious 23-year-old young man that takes his job very seriously and did a phenomenal job of observing, reporting, and just fortunately that he didn't get shot. So with that, oh yeah, the one thing that I did fail to mention is that what you can see on the ground, when the officer asks the young man here that works here, the security officer, for help, he's the first one that sees the gun and he yells "gun" and disengages, and that's when our officer, you can see him getting shot by the suspect, and the officer immediately returned fire. I mean, I'm amazed at the ability of our officer, and not only the ability of our officer, but this witness who has provided some statements under very I think trying circumstances that are extremely extremely accurate, speaks volumes as to his professionalism. And then as to our officer, who was able to not, after being shot, reacted so quickly, professionally, and ended the threat before that innocent person or anybody else got hurt. So with that, the investigation will be ongoing. We will update more tomorrow when we can on the officer's name. And we just want to make sure his family has an opportunity to be noticed. We don't want them to find out from the media or somebody else. And we will provide information on the suspect as soon as we get him identified. Everything is on video and everything is on audio in terms of our officer's actions in this case. I'm really looking forward to the day that we can release this video so people will learn to see why, when officers are struggling with an individual on the ground, when they're struggling with an individual on the ground and the suspect is not showing their hands, there is a reason in most cases somebody's not showing their hands. And this case illustrates exactly why officers are so quick to try to get those hands where they can see them, because when somebody doesn't want to show you their hands, they're usually secreting or hiding or going for one of three things. And that's either guns, knives, other weapons, or drugs that they're trying to ditch or hold. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Where did the video come